All right. Well, a very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Richard, and I want to welcome you to a brand new class that I'm actually in the midst of building right now. So you are what we call the test subjects. Okay? That's the word we would use for you. You are the test subjects for this class. And today, what we're going to be talking about is we are going to be talking about the cloud. Now, up until a certain point in this class, we're going to be talking about the cloud, and then we're going to switch over to the answer to all of your cloud worries. Now, before I get started, I want to take a little poll. How many of you have iPhones and iPads? How many of you have Android devices? Okay. How many Macs? How many Windows? Okay, good. So we have a nice mix of everything. So we're going to be talking today about the cloud. And I think here's one of the most important things. Do any of you know what the cloud actually is?
Storage of somebody's...
Storage in the sky. Service. Well, here is my simple answer for the cloud. The cloud is using someone else's computer. That's my favorite answer for it. One of my favorite things in the world to do is to spend other people's money. Love doing that. But the cloud is using another person's computer. Now I'm going to tell you something I see almost every single cruise. Someone will come to me with their phone, will hand me their iPhone, will hand me their Samsung phone, will hand me their iPad, will hand me something, and usually it's an iPhone. They go, "This doesn't work." And I'm like, "Can you elaborate?" They're like, "This doesn't work." I go, with what? What doesn't it work with? Does it not work with email? She's like, "It won't even turn on." I go, why won't it turn on? They go, "I dropped it in some water." Now, at this point, I've already been looking at the phone. My phone's been in my hand for a minute or two. They go, "I dropped it in some water." So my follow-up response is, what type of water? No. You gotta know that before the rice. So, well, I'll start with the most likely, which is people go into the ocean. They think their phone's waterproof. It's not waterproof. Then they go in the hot tub. They think their phone's waterproof. It's not waterproof. Then they go in the pool. I go through those, and they always go, "No, it wasn't that." It was always the toilet. It is always the toilet. And for years, I would have the phone in my hands, and I'd just be like, You are disgusting that you're handing me a toileted phone." They're like, "I washed it off." I was like, "Oh." I had someone say, "I put it for a bath and sanitizer." I'm like, doesn't really help at all. But then I came up with the response a couple years ago, and I use it all the time. I go to people, I go, "Well, I don't know what type of water is in the toilet. I need to know what type of water it is so I'll know. Can you taste it?" They'll take the glass, they'll put it under the toilet. 2 or 3 people are like, "It's a little bit salty and a little bit chlorine at the same time." I was like, "Oh, God, you're absolutely kidding me." But this is the truth. How many of you have destroyed a mobile phone, a tablet, a computer before? Let's be honest. Water, spilling something on it, everything like that. I'm sure we've all had some form of tech destruction before. Am I right? No? Congratulations, it's coming. If it hasn't happened to you yet, it's going to happen to you in the future. I am very gentle with my devices. I baby my devices. I was going up the stairs to the helipad, and someone spilled a drink, and I fell down, and my phone screen cracked, and it was not fun, but it happened. But what we're going to be talking about today is I want to show you a little bit about the cloud, and then we're going to talk about Google Photos. Now, we're going to go more into the cloud tomorrow. Both today and tomorrow are going to be about the cloud, but they're going to be about distinctly different things. We're going to talk,
I'm sorry, we came in late.
Yeah. They're all around the back of the room. If not, I'll give it to you after the class, so you don't need to worry. So there should be, is there a stack anywhere of handouts? They're right there in the back of the room. Okay, so as I was saying, we're going to talk about some stuff that I'm sure if you're Apple people, you've all seen before. It's called the iCloud. We've probably all heard of the iCloud before. If you're an Android person, bear with me for about 3 minutes, and we're going to go over. The entire purpose of your iCloud is to synchronize the stuff between all of your devices. So if you have contacts on one device, guess what? You've got it on the other. If you have a document on one, you have it on the other. And here's the great thing. All of you that have Apple devices have probably used the cloud before, am I correct?
Yes.
But you know what pops up on there? It says, "Warning, you're running out of space," or "You've run out of space in your cloud," correct? What iCloud should back up, iCloud should be designed for your contacts, your calendars, your bookmarks, your passwords, your news, your wallet, things like that. The thing you really shouldn't be storing on your iCloud is actually your photos, which is interesting because you only have 5 gigs of space for free to back up stuff on your iCloud. Now, So what we should do is when you're using your iCloud, everything should be on except for this thing that says Photos right here. And inside Photos, there's something called iCloud Photo Library. If you have that on, that is where all of your space on iCloud has disappeared to. It has all gone into the iCloud Photo Library. How many of you knowingly turned that on? Probably not. What happened was a couple years ago, when iOS 8 came out, if you opened up this little thing that said Photos, it would automatically pop up and say, do you want to use the iCloud Photo Library to back up all of your photos? And there was a big ugly button that said, use iCloud Photo Library, right here. There's a little tiny button up here that said, don't use iCloud Photo Library. It actually said skip. So what do we all press, knowing human nature?
Big button.
The big button. And it went ahead and it backed up all of our pictures from across all of our devices. By the time it got to the amount of storage which you get for free on iCloud, which is 5 gigs. By the time it got to 5 gigs, which is essentially, you've probably taken more than 5 gigs of photos and videos on this trip. So once you get to those 5 gigs, guess what? You're done. And you can buy more. You can spend 99 cents a month to get 50 gigs or anything like that. But still, 50 gigs is just 10 times this trip. So 1 year of photos is, that's the 50 gigs. It's gone. Now, I take a lot of photos. So 1 year of photos is, there's that 50 gigs. So the answer is there has to be a better way. Now, I want to let you know about some of the better ways that existed before Google Photos that we're going to talk about today. You all might have heard of something back in the day called Flickr. You ever heard of Flickr? Yeah. F-L-I-C-K-R. And Flickr was great. Gave you 1 terabyte of storage. So just to put that into perspective, Apple gives you 5 gigs. They gave you 1,000 gigs of storage for free. You notice my tense I'm saying? Yeah. Not they give you, they gave you. Flickr was bought by a company a bit ago, a couple years ago. I bet you'll never guess what company bought Flickr.
Apple.
Nope. Yahoo.
Yeah.
And then Flickr stopped the free gravy train of backing up all of your stuff for free. Now there's another company that backs up all of your pictures and all of your videos for free. It's Amazon. Are any of you Amazon Prime members? If you're an Amazon Prime member, there's actually a really cool app called Prime Photos. I don't really use this app. There's a really cool app called Prime Photos that will back up all of your photos and videos from your camera roll in your device to the cloud for free. Unlimited. But that is still $99 a year because you have to be a Prime member in order to get that. Now, here's the thing I want you to understand about Apple. The reason I'm showing you what I'm about to show you is, number one, it works across all the devices. Number two, here's a big thing. Apple makes money when you buy a phone. Samsung makes money when you buy a phone. Google makes money when you use Google products. Does that make sense to everybody? So Google makes money when you use Google products. So instead of charging you 99 cents a month like Apple would for this, or even more, if you continue to use Google, that's what's paying for it. All the advertising and everything like that, that is what is paying for what I'm about to show you. Now the nice thing is, like I said, you can continue. I want to just recap this real quick. All of this stuff in iCloud is perfectly fine. You will never, everybody's contacts in this whole room will not take up 5 gigs. If I put all of your contacts together, it won't take up 5 gigs. Everybody's Word files and Excel files on their computer in this whole room won't take up 5 gigs. A single photo takes up more space than that entire side of the room's contacts. Think about that for a second. A single photo takes, because contacts are just a text file. It's just got a name, it's got a phone number, it's got an address, that's it. A photo is actually binary bits of all kinds of different colors and everything like that. So you should be using your iCloud for everything but photos. And for photos, you're going to use a really cool piece of software called Google Photos. So we're going to be talking about Google Photos for the next couple of minutes, well, for the rest of the class. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a theory thing real quick. I want to do some theory. I'm going to take a picture right now of this nice audience. Here we go. Here's 3 pictures. 1, 2, 3 pictures. I've taken 3 pictures. My phone, as of this second, is not connected to the internet. So I have 3 pictures. 1, 2, 3 pictures. Now here's my loaded question. And if you're in my Google Photos class already, don't answer this question because it's a... How many copies of each of these pictures do I have? 1. I have 1 copy. It's not connected to the internet. It's not on the iCloud. It's not on Google Photos. It's nowhere. I have 1 copy of every one of these pictures. Now, if I were to then take this picture and I'm going to send it over to this iPad, I would then have how many copies of all these pictures? 2 copies of all the pictures. If I were then take and put it on my Mac right here, I would have 3. But here's the loaded question. I have 3 copies. How many backups do I have? Anybody say anything other than 0?
It's in the cloud.
No, we're not talking about internet yet. So we're talking, I'm just moving it manually with a cable or with AirDrop, something like that. I don't have any backups, because here's the thing. A backup is something that stays in a single location. How many of you have a backup hard drive on the ship with you?
On the ship.
Anybody have one on the ship with them?
No.
Good, because it wouldn't be a backup, because it's moving. It's moving.
Isn't the other 2 devices the single locations? Huh?
They are. So here's the thing. They're in a single location. We're going to get to that in a minute. So here's the thing to understand. When you have a backup, the difference between a copy and a backup is a backup stays in a single location. Every single one of these devices on the table here came up to this room inside of this bag. If I were to go on deck 5 and this bag were to fall off the side of the ship on deck 5, where are all of my copies? In the ocean. So a backup is something that stays in a single place. I want to make sure, does that make sense to everybody? I have crew members come to me every single cruise and they say, here's my backup drive, it stopped working. And I go, well then it's not your backup drive, because your backup drive should never be dropped, should never be given to somebody else or anything like that. A backup is something that stays in one location. So I pointed all these things and said they're not backups. Do any of you have desktop computers at home? Or a laptop that acts as a desktop? Yeah. Those are considered backups. Does that make sense? If it stays in a single location. I always tell people I'm going to lie to them, and I like, when I'm going to lie to you, I have not lied to you this whole cruise, except right now, I'm going to lie to you. I'm letting you know. This is my backup hard drive. Some of you are laughing at me. They're saying this is too small to be a backup hard drive, but remember, it's not the size of your hard drive, it's how you use it. This is my backup hard drive right now. Now, how many of you think this is not my backup hard drive? If I'm showing it to you, how could it be my backup hard drive? It doesn't stay in one location. So I want you to understand, because a lot of people come around with hard drives and they go, this is my backup drive, and they'll loan it to a friend to give them a movie, and the friend drops the drive, and what happens to your backup drive? It's gone. So everything you need to keep, everything that's important to you, you need to make sure you have backed up in multiple locations. So what's the main thing that we can't replace is our photos and videos. Am I correct in that assumption? A document you can always email to yourself. Your photos and videos you cannot replace. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to back up all the photos and videos from your iPhone or iPad to Google Photos or your Android devices. iPhone, iPad, Android device. Now to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to show you this on my phone. I'm going to show you this on my iPad. So I'm going to switch over to my iPad. Now the reason I'm going to show it to you on my iPad is my iPad is completely empty. This is my work iPad, so I delete Google Photos from my work iPad all the time. To get started, you actually have a little handout that shows you to get started with Google Photos, all you need to do is go to the App Store. You see it's the front of the sheet that says the cheat sheet. You're going to go to the App Store and you are going to find the application Google Photos. A word of warning to you. If you are on an iPhone or an iPad, one of the top search terms on the iPhone and iPad App Store nowadays is actually Google Photos. So everybody buys ads against it. You see this first app here? It's called the Paintacular, or Printacular. That is not Google Photos. So you want to get the one that says Google Photos. Does that make sense to everybody? There's an ad that shows up right before. You want to get the one that says Google Photos. It is free. To get Google Photos on your iPhone or iPad, you will need your Apple password. So you need your password that's used to get into your Apple account. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to open it from here. And I'm going to go ahead and open Google Photos. Now you're going to install Google Photos on your iPhone, on your iPad, on your Android. We'll talk about your Windows or your Mac computer in a couple minutes. But when you open Google Photos for the first time, it's going to ask you a very interesting question. It's going to say, Google Photos wants to access your photos and videos. Why does it need to ask you that? Lawyers. So we're going to say, okay. And then it's got to go ahead and access it. The second thing it's going to say is Google Photos wants to notify you when it does or finds something cool. Sure, we'll allow it to do that. Now here comes the interesting part. It is then going to ask you to sign in with your Google account. How many of you in this room have a Gmail account now? Tomorrow we will be talking about Gmail. Even if you already have a Gmail account, I highly recommend you come by and see that because I'm going to show you the right way to check your Gmail, how to sort your Gmail, how to move people over. But out of you that have a Gmail account, how many of you use Gmail as your primary account? A lot of you have one, but you go, oh, I've still been using my AOL because I think AOL is going to be around forever. Or, oh, I've still been using my Yahoo because I think Yahoo is going to be around forever. I did it to shut my kids up because they kept yelling and saying that I needed to get a Gmail account. Am I right?
Yes.
That's the right answer. So, you're going to sign in with your Gmail account. If you don't have one, you can make one from right here. We're going to talk all about Gmail tomorrow. It's gone ahead, and since I've already got my Gmail signed up in my iPad, it's gone ahead and it's done that. I want you to be very aware. This iPad is completely blank. It has no photos, no videos, nothing on it. So then it's going to ask, do I want to back up my photos and videos to Google Photos? I go, yes. Here's the first question that's not a dumb question. It's going to say, do you want to use cellular data to back up your photos and videos to Google Photos? No. So, the answer for a majority of us in this room is, no. Do any of you still have unlimited data with your cell phone provider? Yeah. If you do, go ahead and back it up and watch them burn. That's the, something very interesting happened yesterday, I'll tell you. Any of you that are from the States, you know that T-Mobile used to be the joke carrier, had no coverage. They just bought Spectrum. That's going to make them stronger than Verizon, stronger than AT&T. In 2020. They just bought it yesterday. So just to give you, that's a little thing. But I actually back up with my phone with cellular data because I have free data roaming all over the world from T-Mobile. Last year in Europe, I did 170 gigs of data on data roaming. You would have to mortgage your house over multiple times to pay for that if you were on any other carrier other than T-Mobile. But they gave me free data roaming all over Europe. So for most of you in this room, you do not want to use cellular data to back up your photos. Here comes the big question. This is the one I want you to pay the most attention to. It's going to say, what size would you like to back up your photos and videos? You've got high quality or you've got original. There's a big ugly button that says get help deciding. If I hit that get help deciding button, what do you think happens? It gives me a long document that I have to understand. Do you want to read a long document? The right answer is high quality. It's going to give you free storage of your pictures up to 16 megapixels and your video up to full HD resolution, not 4K. Now, I'm clicking through here right now. I need you to understand, until right this minute, this iPad was empty. And now guess what I have across my iPad? That's my pictures from yesterday. For some reason, my phone case has a magnet on the back of it, so I put my phone down. I took that picture yesterday. I had to borrow someone else's phone to take it. I was like, there was a knife that stuck to the back. I didn't really need a knife to eat that burger, but there was a knife that stuck to the back. But I want you to understand that none of these pictures were actually, that's a good burger, were actually on my device until a few minutes ago, until a couple seconds ago. So this is actually getting all the pictures from across all of my devices, all of the video from across all of my devices. I can see this is St. Kitts, a nice sunset picture. No, this is Barbados, a nice sunset picture I took in Barbados. And I can go through, but none of these were taken on this iPad, and they came over instantly. It is like email for your pictures and videos. Does that make pretty good sense? It's like email for your pictures and videos. So what you need to do is you need to install the Google Photos app on all of your mobile devices. Your iPhones, your iPads, your Androids. We're going to talk about computers in just a couple minutes. But you install the Google Photos app on all your devices. We're going, oh, I'm so excited. We're going to Bermuda in about 3 days. This is deep fried brownies. Oh, so good. But don't get me started on that. So you're going to install it on all of your devices. Now what I showed you is I showed you just now setting up a device from scratch. I want to show you my phone, which I use every single day with Google Photos, because it's going to give you a better perspective of how you would go about using it. So I'm going to jump back to my phone right here. I'm going to wait. There we go. So I got my phone. Now you'll notice how important Google Photos is to me. You guys all know these things on the bottom. If you look at your phone, you likely have phone and text messaging and Safari and what's the third one? Settings or someone like that. Or email, yeah. Phone, those are the default ones. Do you notice I don't have any of those on the bottom? I don't have any of those on the bottom because I don't use any of those. What I use more than anything else is I use my Facebook Messenger, my Google Photos, and my Newsfeed reader. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Google Photos on my phone now so you can see what's going on my phone. So this is Google Photos on my phone. And that's the last picture I took. We're not going to talk about these two pictures because they were funny, but they're political, so we're not going to open them. I've learned. Oh, there we go. Do you see that these pictures are now circling? That means that they're uploading to Google Photos right now as we speak. Those pictures are going ahead, and they're uploading to Google Photos. Google Photos is going to show you the newest pictures and video at the top and the oldest ones at the bottom. It's very different than Apple because you know Apple shows you the oldest at the bottom and the newest at the top. What if you want the newest to be at the bottom and the oldest to be at the top? Tough. Tough. This is the way Google Photos works. Google Photos is incredibly linear. What I mean by that is your oldest stuff is on the bottom, your newest stuff is on the top. Does that make sense to us all? Yeah?
So I have a camera, a Canon.
Okay, let's get back to that a bit later. I'm just talking about the phone. We'll get to the Canon camera. Yeah?
The point is though that half of my photos have the wrong date on.
Half of your photo, you can go in and modify dates later. It's not a big deal. But we can go in and you'll see that that picture's already gone ahead and uploaded. All those 3 pictures, done. They're already backed up. Any of you feel that's secure with iCloud that you can take a picture and about 25 seconds later it's done? Okay, just making sure. So I've got the oldest ones at the bottom and the newest ones at the top. But here's the problem a lot of you came in this room about is they go, well, I don't have any free space on my device. Because I bought an 8 gig or 16 gig or maybe a 32 gig. I don't have that problem. I have 256 gigs on my phone just because I'm crazy. But I never delete anything. I had 128 gigs. I said, there's no way I'm ever going to fill 128 gigs. Now I have 256 gigs. I say, there's no way I'm ever going to fill 256 gigs. What do you think's going to happen next year? I'm going to get the 512 gig. Just assuming there's going to be a 512 gig. I don't know. But here's the thing. How do you free up the space on your device? So you see these little 3 bars in the upper left-hand corner? That is the equivalent of a file menu. If I click there, there's a button right there that says free up space. Now what it's doing is it's looking for pictures that are already, pictures and video that are already backed up. It says, do you want to remove 6,318 items? I'm going to read to you what this says exactly. These photos and videos have already been safely backed up to your Google Photos library at the quality you've selected. You'll still be able to view them here at any time, comma, if you have an internet connection. Yes, that's important to understand. So when it's going to Google Photos, your pictures are going to be in the cloud. Now, if I were to hit delete, it would take them all and it would delete them from the phone, but leave them in Google Photos. Does that make sense to us? So it would delete them from the phone. Here's the cool thing. Apple doesn't have the ability to do this on the iPhones. But this is an iPhone. Google's figured out how to free up space quicker than Apple has on the iPhone. I find that interesting. One thing of note, once you delete your photos, once you remove those photos, what you then need to do is you need to go into, I'm going to hit cancel. You then need to go back into this app right here, the Photos app, the one from Apple, and you will have a file called recently deleted. You see these recently deleted? And you have to go ahead and delete them again from recently deleted, because if you don't, guess what? They stay on your device. So we go in, we go from recently deleted, and we're going to say select, and we're going to say delete all, and it should delete those 4 items, and then we will get the space back on our device. Makes sense to all of us. So what we're going to do is we install Google Photos on all of our devices. It's going to synchronize all of our photos and videos across all of our devices. You know how much we're ever going to, well, you know how much we're going to pay for this? Nothing. That's what's really cool. The problem is Google doesn't have any stores. They're not going to teach people about this. That's why I like to show this, because I think it's really, really cool. So I go in, and I've got all of my photos and all of my videos on here backed up for free. But let's go ahead and let's jump in a time machine. Let's go back to a day before digital photos existed. You remember those days? No, I wasn't really alive those days. My mom handed me something very interesting. It's an artifact. It's called a photo album. Most of us don't have these anymore. And here's me as a child. You can look how serious I was. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it.
Where's the recently deleted again?
It's in your photos. It's right in here. It's an album inside of photos if you scroll down a bit. But if I go in, I've got this picture like this. Now, how would most of us take a picture of this? We would just go ahead and take a picture of it, right?
Right.
We just go ahead. And it's a little dark, so I might need to add some flash. And if I add some flash, watch what happens to it. I kind of destroy the picture. You can't really see it on there, I kind of destroy the picture. So here's the thing. Google Photos realized that people still have real pictures. And they built an app called PhotoScan. What this app allows you to do is it allows you to scan in real pictures into Google Photos. So it's called PhotoScan. Ah, I did not hit the right thing. So I'm going to take a picture of this. I'm going to go down on the floor real quick. I'm going to show you how this works. So I take the picture. I center it right in the middle. And then I move it to these 4 dots. And here's what it's going to do. It is going to automatically take that photo and digitize it. That one's a little light, but I can go in and I can adjust the corners. I can rotate. I can adjust all of these different things if I wanted to. It's a little bit dark, but I can fix it. A little bit light, but I can go ahead and fix it. It's just the way it's showing up on the screen. This is one I did the other day. This is me and my sister. Aww. But that is now a digital photo, and it's in my photo library, and I scanned it right with my phone, and it's just as good results as if you were to use a real scanner.
So it went to your photo library and then was saved?
And then was saved to Google Photos, yeah. So if I go here, I go to PhotoScan, there's a button that says Save All. It's going to go ahead and it's going to save it up to Google Photos, and then I have them right inside. If I wanted to, I could go in and I could actually put a date, because there's a date on the back of these pictures. I could put in a manual date on the pictures as well, and it will sort it out. This is the simplest way to digitize photos that I've ever seen. It's called PhotoScan. It's by Google Photos. PHOTOSCAN. It's actually inside of Google Photos as well.
In the App Store?
Yeah, so what you'll notice is in Google Photos, right where we hit these little 3 bars in the upper corner, to go ahead and free up space, if you scroll down a bit, there's a button that says Google Apps. It says PhotoScan. You open up PhotoScan, and it will let you go ahead and do a photo scan. It is free. All of this is free. All of this is free. I'm going to have to put this photo back in the photo album, because I don't want to destroy it.
So after you take the scan, what do you have to do to get it saved?
As soon as you hit Save All, it puts it in your camera roll, and then it'll bounce it all up to Google Photos. It's really, really cool. It's gone in and digitized it. Yeah?
Where are you saving, or where are you backing up all of your photos? It's into Google Photos, but is that on your iPad?
So that is a cloud service that will go across all of your devices that you log into. So you install Google Photos on your iPhone, on your iPad, everywhere like that you install Google Photos.
Well, doesn't it take up space?
No, because here's the cool thing. It streams your photos. It's not storing the full quality photo. It's streaming the photos across all the devices. The most recent photos, she asked a good question. Google Photos is referencing the Photos app. It's referencing this app right here like a shortcut. You know, if you put a shortcut on your desktop, it's not the actual file, it's just a shortcut to it. So it's referencing the Photos app. That's all that Google Photos is doing. And then it's taking it and it's going ahead and it's adding it up to the cloud. But here's the very important question. Most of our photos are not on our current phone, are they? Or our current tablet. Where are they? In the cloud, on hard drives, on SD cards, on our computer in the My Pictures folder. And they're nice. Someone asked me about duplicates. They're nice and organized. There's no duplicates, right? It's perfect. It's perfect. They're nice, organized, no duplicates. You don't have to worry. Right?
No, no such.
That was a joke. They are what we call, I have to concentrate on this so I say it correctly, a fuster cluck. A fuster cluck of your photos, and I did not say what you think I said. This is very close to what you think I said, but I didn't say it. We have a mess of photos across all of our devices, and our iPhones and iPads are simple because they only have the last year or so photos and they're somewhat categorized. But on your computer, you likely have SD cards, you have a My Pictures folder, you have all those different things like that. So what you need to do is you need to install a piece of software. This is on the back side of your sheet of paper. From the website photos.google.com. And in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see those 3 bars. And then you'll see something that says App Downloads. When I click here, there's a big ugly button that says Download. I'm going to do that on my Windows computer or on my Mac computer. Have I covered everybody's computers? I think we all have either Windows or Mac computers. Yeah. So I have a Linux machine as well, so I want to make sure there are no nerds in the room. But I take my Windows computer or my Mac computer and I install this program. I'm going to show you exactly how this program works. I need to sign out of it so you can see what's going on. So when I go to photos.google.com, I'm going to log in with my Gmail account, my Google account. And then I'm going to download the Google Photos uploader. And it's going to say, sign in with your Google account. on a computer. So I'm going to sign in with my Google account, which is Richard. And boom. And then it's going to ask me for my password, which I'm not going to say out loud. And we can hit sign in. And then it's going to ask me some interesting questions. I'm going to zoom in so we can see what it's going to say. The interesting question it's going to ask me in a couple seconds is, I think it's a very valid question, where are your photos? So it's going to say, where are your photos? I'm going to give it a second to load up. And it's going to say, hey, Rich, where are your photos? Now the answer for most of us, if we have a Mac computer, it's probably in iPhoto or in Photos. If we have a Windows computer, the answer is probably in your My Pictures folder. Have any of you ever used the program Picasa?
Yes.
If you have a Windows computer and use Picasa, the original name for Google Photos was Picasa for Web. Just to give you an idea, that was the original name for Google Photos. So that's what it originally was. So we're going to it's going to take a good guess where your pictures are. So if you do it on a Windows computer, it's going to say, do you want to upload your entire My Pictures folder? If you do it on a Mac computer, it's going to say, do you want to do your Apple Photos library? It's going to automatically assume where your pictures are. You can always add additional destinations of where your pictures are as well. What size are we going to back those pictures up? High quality. I want you to remember high quality, because if you choose original, you're only going to get about 15 gigs of storage. Yes, that's 3 times more than Apple gives you, but the right answer is always high quality. So if I hit high quality, it's going to go ahead and it's going to start uploading the pictures. This is something I have not mentioned. I mention this because I get emails about this all the time. To upload your pictures to Google Photos, it is going to take a long time. Weeks, possibly months. Anybody live in Europe? If you live in Europe, it's going to be a lot easier to upload your Google Photos because in Europe, your upload speed and your download speed are much closer to the same. In the US, your download speed is about 10 times your upload speed. You're not downloading to Google Photos, you are uploading to Google Photos. So it's going to take about 10 times longer to upload your photos than it would to download your photos. As an interesting rule of thumb, for every day you will get about 1,000 photos uploaded. So if you have 20,000 photos, it's going to take you about a month-ish to do it. But it'll happen anytime your device is connected to the internet and Google Photos is open in the background. Now on your Windows computer, the little Google Photos icon will show up next to the time in the bottom right-hand corner. On the Mac, it shows up in the upper left-hand corner. And it's going to back up automatically. Another cool thing, if you plug in an SD card, SD card from your camera, it will automatically upload all of those pictures from the SD card to your Google Photos. And it can copy them to your computer as well. I'm going to talk to 3 people, now probably about 5 people in this room. If you shoot a RAW photo, you want to shoot in RAW plus JPEG. When you shoot in RAW plus JPEG, only the JPEG is going to upload. Does that make sense to the few people that it needed to make sense to? So only a couple of you needed. If it didn't make sense, then it wasn't for you. But if you shoot a RAW photo, you want to shoot in RAW plus JPEG, and that will give you a very good perspective on what you're doing. Now here's the thing. We now have all of our photos, we have all of our videos backed up, be it from our phones, be it from our tablets, be it from our computers, be it from our photo albums with the PhotoScan application. But here's the important question. Yeah?
I just want to say, is there a way to know when it's completed?
Is there a way to know when it's completed? Yes. When you click up on the icon, it will show you how many left it has backing up. So I don't think I have any to back up. So I'll show you. It says 0 photos backed up. Right there on the top. So it says 0 photos backed up. On your device, it'll say 20,000 photos remaining, or 6,000 photos remaining, or anything like that. On a phone or a tablet, I'm going to show you how you can see. That's a good question, because no one's asked that question before, so I do want to answer that question, then I'm going to go on to the next part. On a phone or a tablet, it will show you in the Google Photos app. Under this tab that says Assistant, it will show you that it still has, so mine has 29 videos. It still has to back up. So there's 29 videos left on my phone that it's still going to go ahead and back up, to give you a perspective there. So it will always tell you what it has left. It is going to take a while. And noting on that, it's going to upload photos first, then special photos, then videos. Yeah?
Question about photos. Do you still retain ownership rights?
You still retain full ownership rights, and these are your own pictures. And that's where we're about to go right now. So you still retain ownership rights. You're not giving up your ownership rights. Yeah?
On your scanning of old real photos, Would it be better to use a scanner or use that phone?
They do about the same.
Oh, they do?
They do about the same, yes.
Okay.
They do about the same. It's weird when I'm showing up to this screen. But when you log into photos.google.com, you're going to have all of your pictures here in chronological order. I can go back 20 years of photos. I have 570,000-ish photos and videos that I have full access to from any device I can sign into Google Photos with. So from my desktop, from my laptop, from anything like that. The one thing you have to do once you've set up Google Photos is you have to tell it who people are. After it's gotten your pictures up, you're going to click on the search bar on the website, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to say that this person is Leslie and this person is Julie. You'll see all these faces that are showing here. Do you see these faces right here?
And then it brought those up automatically?
It'll bring those up automatically. And there's a little black arrow to the side of the faces, and what you have to do is you have to define who people are. So you have to be, okay, so this is this person, this is that person. You see these people have automatically been, I've named them. So I've gone ahead and I've named all these people, but I can go down, it will automatically identify every face you have. So if I scroll down, let me see if I can find someone that I don't know who it is. I have no clue who these people are. Let's see if I can pick some.
Computer, not your laptop.
You can do it on your phone as well. It's easier to do on your computer. I enjoy doing it on my computer a lot better, but it's completely up to you. But every person you've ever taken a picture of or with or in will automatically show up there. That's why I don't know who any of these people are. I actually know who this is. It's my cousin.
What about when people look like kids age?
When they age, I'm gonna answer that in a few seconds. You'll see what's going on here. But this is Kara, and if I wanted to name her, you see there's a button that says "Who's this?" right there. I click there. I type in C-A-R-A, and I've got Kara. Now you asked a question. What about people who age? So I have a sister. I have two sisters. One of them is named Leslie. So I can type in Richard and Leslie. Oh, let me put in the L. And it's going to automatically pull up all of the photos of Richard and Leslie. Now, you said, what about if they age? This is where this is going to get interesting. There's a lot of pictures, so I'm going to let them load a little bit. You said, what if they age? I can type in Richard and Leslie, ship children. And what it will do is it will find Richard and Leslie on a ship as children. All I ever defined is who Richard and Leslie are, and this is my first celebrity cruise I ever went on. That's me and my sister on the Century as kids. I never told it who young Richard was. I never told it who young Leslie was. It actually figured out Richard and Leslie on a ship as children.
Was there a space between ship and children?
I have put a space
Yeah.
between there, yes.
Okay.
But if I wanted to get rid of ship, I can actually find Richard and Leslie as children, which will show you some of these pictures that I've gone ahead and I've scanned in. So some of the pictures I've gone ahead and scanned in.
How accurate do you think that was?
Pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate? Yeah.
Pretty accurate. But I can go in and I can look based on variables. I can also go in and I can search based on a location. So one of my favorite places in the world to get ice cream is Lisbon, Portugal. There's a place right in the middle of Lisbon, Portugal called Nostra Italia. They make great ice cream, they make great pizza. And if I wanted to pull up my pictures from there, I could type in Richard Ice Cream Lisbon. And it would pull up me with ice cream in Lisbon, Portugal. Now, all I ever told it is who Richard was. I told it who Richard was once. It knows based on the GPS on the phone that I was in Lisbon, Portugal, and it knows based on its own artificial intelligence that there is ice cream. And you can see this is 2016, this is 2013. I can tell you I can date it based on the smartwatch I'm wearing. I know what your pictures are based on the watch I'm wearing. That was called the Meta Watch. It's one of the first smartwatches that ever existed. It was really quite a cool smartwatch. But what's cool is it's streaming your pictures. So in a few seconds, it's actually going to clear up. It should clear up in a couple seconds there. And it's actually streaming my pictures directly. There we go.
What if you have more than one Richard?
So you give them a different name. So my dad's name is Bill and my friend's name is Bill, so I used his last name to define my friend. So
Should you always use the last name or
it
not?
depends. I mean, it's up to you. I don't want to call it anything else, but the cool thing is I can look at locations. I can look at any variables I want to. This is where it starts to get really interesting. So just because I don't like to do canned things, someone give me something random I'm not taking a picture with at some point in time.
Roller coaster.
Roller coaster, okay. Ship is too easy. beer can. But I can type in roller coaster, and here we go. This is all of my pictures of roller coasters. And it's actually gone ahead and done a pretty good job of finding all the pictures of roller coasters. And I can go in and I can type in roller coaster of Richard. I don't know if it's going to give me.
But you didn't create a roller coaster, it knew that.
It knew it was a roller coaster on its own. So it is actually, I typed in roller coaster Richard and I found a picture of me and my sister on a roller coaster.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's incredible. This kind of learning algorithm is insane. So I can go in and I can look for absolutely anything I want to look at. I can look for people, places, things. I can look, and you'll see it's already defined. In that picture, it knows it's a roller coaster. It's defined that both Richard and Julie are in that picture. And where was it? It's in West Palm Beach, I think. That's what it says. It says it's in West Palm Beach, Florida. So I can go in and I can look. I remember that day I also ate something that was delicious. It was a Krispy Kreme bacon cheeseburger donut. That's actually not a joke. Yes. Krispy Kreme bacon cheeseburger donut. Why? Because I said so. This is why I'm fat. I can tell when that is because I have a different watch on there. This is all before the Apple Watch. But I can go in and I've got me eating the Krispy Kreme donut. And you go, if you think of Krispy Kreme bacon cheeseburger donut's nasty, that same day I also had a pork parfait. Don't hate it. It's barbecue pork, barbecue sauce, and mashed potatoes. It's not that bad. Some of you eat sushi. Now that's nasty. That's raw fish. This is just stuff that would normally not go together and mix together to give you an idea. But I can even look at, as crew members, I'll tell you, how many of you have been to St. Martin before this cruise? Before this cruise, you've been to St. Martin. You've been to St. Martin a whole bunch of times. So I can actually just go in and I can look based on all kinds of locations around the world. So I can look at every time I've been to St. Martin, every time I've been to Southampton, every time I've been, like the ship is about to go to Southampton. If I click on Southampton right now, I can see all of my pictures that I've ever taken in Southampton, which will consist of breakfast in IKEA every single time we go.
Richard, does
Yeah.
that assume that you've got GPS on the photo when you take it originally?
So, not exactly. It goes a little bit further in that assumption. It can assume you have GPS originally, or that there's Wi-Fi spots around it can identify your location from, or if someone else has taken a picture in that same location and had GPS, and it can learn from the background of that photo exactly where you are. Even on your scanned photos. Even on your scanned photos. So I can go in, oh look, here's my IKEA hot dog. No, you go to IKEA for breakfast, then you go to the mall, and then you go to IKEA for lunch on the way back. So, there's breakfast along with a beer. That's the best way to start your day. IKEA breakfast.
Dated, all of these photos are dated, if you click on them?
They're all dated, yes. So you can see September 30th, 2016, I was in a Costco, and I can go through and I can see all of these pictures dated over time. It's very, very cool. The last thing I'm going to show you today, and then we'll finish for today, is what if your photos and videos automatically edited themselves? What's cool is Google Photos will actually edit your photos and videos for you. So you take a picture. I'm going to show you a picture I took real quick. I took a picture of the ship in Tallinn. Oh, actually, this is Lisbon, Portugal. I took this picture. It automatically made it black and white, added a frame around it, and did some really cool things with that picture. Or here's another example. This is a picture in Tallinn, Estonia. And this is the eclipse in Tallinn, Estonia. I just took a really quick picture with my iPhone. Google Photos did everything you see right there. It did the border. It did all of that. My assistant, my old assistant in Rome, her name is Elsa. She'll be here this summer when I leave. She took these bunch of pictures in Rome, and it automatically colorized the picture in Rome. So it automatically colorized one part of the picture and left another part of the picture blank. I'm going to give it a second because it's a panorama. So it's going to take about 20 seconds or so to come down because it's only about 70 megapixels. But here's the picture, and it automatically made part of the picture colored and part of the picture black and white. It will even take your videos and edit them for you.
Richard,
Yep.
If we've only been downloading for a few days, and I try to search something that I know is on my iPad.
It doesn't mean they're all up yet. Yeah,
Okay.
it still needs, it
Because
takes
it
a little
doesn't
bit to
come
go
up with
through
it.
there, and I can look through them, but it takes a little bit to go through there. And the last thing I'm going to show you, I'm going to end with this, is that it can even make creations of video. So this is a video. This is from the Celebrity Reflection. This is a show called Broken Strings. It went together and it edited this all together into a video. It was separate video clips that were taken. It went together and it edited it all together. Pause it for 3 seconds so it'll catch up. So it added the music, it added the transitions, it did all of this. And it's gone ahead and it's done everything you're seeing right there. With videos, with everything you have there. And it's mixed together from multiple devices. And you'll see there's even pictures inside. There's a picture of a light bulb that's out in the eye lounge. But it went ahead, figured out what was in the video, automatically added music and everything to the video, which is what's really cool.
Was it their music or was it?
It was
the
their
actual-
music.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't the
actual
actual music.
But it still
It's
went
Google's
together.
copyright-free music, so you can share it. It goes together. It's all about artificial intelligence. Now, I am going to wrap up. I'm going to stick around for any questions. I'm going to let you know if anything piques your interest or if you have questions. Tomorrow between 10:30 and noon in the morning, I don't have a class scheduled. Come by the iLounge. I'll be there for any questions you have about anything that we've talked about. I'm going to stick around again here, but I have to wrap up because they've got another event going on here in a few minutes. But I want to let you know tomorrow we are talking about Gmail. Tomorrow is the big Gmail class. I've been putting it off. We're going to have a full room, so come here a little bit early. I've been putting it off because everybody always says, when are you going to do the Gmail class? When are you going to do the Gmail class? I don't want anyone to miss it, so that's why I do it on the last day of the cruise, if that makes sense. So tomorrow, in here at 1 o'clock, we're going to talk about Gmail and more. That's it for Google Photos today. Bye!